Devotee, is work an obstruction to self-realization? Maharashi, no. For a realized being, the self alone is the reality, and actions are only phenomenal, not affecting the self. Even when he acts, he has no sense of being an agent. His actions are only involuntary, and he remains a witness to them without any attachment. There is no aim for this action. Even one who is still practicing the path of wisdom, jnana, can practice while engaged in work. It may be difficult in the earlier stages for a beginner, but after some practice, it will soon be effective and the work will not be found a hindrance to meditation. Devotee, what is the practice? Maharashi, constant search for I, the source of the ego. Find out who am I. The pure I is the reality, the absolute existence, consciousness, bliss. When that is forgotten, all miseries crop up. When that is held fast, the miseries do not affect the person. Devotee, is not brahmacharya, celibacy, necessary for realization of the self? Maharaj, brahmacharya is living in Brahman. It has no connection with celibacy as commonly understood. A real brahmachari, that is one who lives in Brahman, find bliss in the Brahman, which is the same as the self. Why then should you look for other sources of happiness? In fact, the emergence from the self has been the cause of all the misery. Devotee, celibacy is a sine qua non for yoga. Maharashi, so it is. Celibacy is certainly an aid to realization among so many other aids. Devotee, is that not indispensable? Can a married man realize the self? Maharaj, certainly. It is a matter of fitness of mind. Married or unmarried, a man can realize the self, because that is here and now. If it were not so, but attainable by some efforts at some other time, and if it were new and something to be acquired, it would not be worthy of pursuit, because what is not natural cannot be permanent either. But what I say is that the self is here and now and alone. Devotee, God being immanent in all, one should not take life of any kind. Is society right in taking the life of a murderer? Can the state do so either? The Christian countries begin to think that it is wrong to do so. Maharashi, what is it that prompted the murderer to commit the crime? The same power awards him the punishment. Society or the state is only a tool in the hands of the power. You speak of one life taken away, but what about innumerable lives lost in wars? Devotee, quite so. Loss of lives is wrong anyway. Are wars justified? Maharashi, for a realized man, the one who remains ever in the self, the loss of one or several or all lives, either in this world or in all the three worlds, makes no difference. Even if he happens to destroy them all, no sin can touch such a pure soul. Maharashi quoted the Gita, chapter 18, verse 17. He who is free from the notion of ego, whose intellect is unattached, though he annihilates all the worlds, he slayeth not, nor is he beyond by the results of his actions. Devotee, do not one's actions affect the person in afterbirths? Maharashi, are you born now? What do you think of other births? The fact is that there is neither birth nor death. Let him who is born think of death and palliatives therefore. Devotee, how long did it take Maharashi to realize the self? Maharaj, this question is asked because the name and form are perceived. These are the perceptions consequent on the identification of the ego with the gross body. If the ego identifies itself with a subtle mind, as in dream, the perceptions are subtle also. But in sleep, there are no perceptions. Was there not the ego still? Unless it was, there cannot be the memory of having slept. Who was it that slept? You didn't say in your sleep that you slept. You say it now in your wakeful state. The ego, therefore, is the same in wakefulness, dream, and sleep. Find out the underlying reality behind these states. That is the reality underlying these. In that state, there is a being alone. There is no you, nor I, nor he, no present, nor past, nor future. It is beyond time and space, beyond expression. It is ever there. Just as a plantain tree produces shoots at its roots before yielding fruits and perishing, and these shoots, being transplanted, do the same again, so also the original, primeval master of antiquity, Dakshinamurti, who cleared the doubts of his rishi disciples in silence, has left shoots which are ever multiplying. The Guru is a shoot of the Dakshinamurti. The question doesn't arise when the self is realized.